guys, and welcome back to my home/classroom. If you're joining for the very first time and the two of us have never met, allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Miss Summer, and I'm a world language teacher at Lakehurst Elementary and Middle School. I teach grades pre-K all the way through 8th grade. Yes, I teach a lot of students, many of them just like you all who are watching me right now. I also have two wonderful but very busy children of my own. I have a son. His name is Jordan, and he's 6 years old in the 1st grade. And then I have a daughter. Her name is Journey, and she's 2 years old and going to pre-K next year. And I'm almost certain you will see or hear them soon because they are at home like all of us are. So, I'm sure you're probably wondering, okay, lady, enough with the introduction. What are you teaching us today? I have the pleasure of teaching you guys American Sign Language. Have you guys heard of that before? Do you know what that means? Okay, maybe you've heard it used or referred to by its abbreviated name, ASL. The A is for American, the S is for sign, the L is for language. No? No worries. That's why I'm here. So first things first, American Sign Language. Oh, it's on my sign back here too. American Sign Language. American Sign Language, or as the abbreviation I told you earlier is ASL, is known as a visual language. Why do I say it's a visual language? That's because over 500,000 deaf people all over the United States use ASL to communicate. Oh, deaf? Let me write that down. D-E-A-F. Deaf. Deaf. D-E-A-F. That word is the correct term used to refer to someone who can't hear. So a person who can't hear, we call them deaf. D-E-A-F. So a deaf person uses their eyes in the same way that we use our ears if we are hearing. What I mean by that is we use our ears to take in information, right? That's how we listen. That's how we learn. That's how we understand things. That's how we comprehend. Well, deaf people, since they can't hear, they depend on their eyes to do the exact same thing that we do with our ears. So they take in information visually. So they learn, they understand, and they comprehend receptively using their eyes. That's why American Sign Language is considered a visual language. Got it? Okay. Well, I also made it a point to say that over 500,000 deaf people here in the United States use ASL. So why was I so specific to say that? It's not used all over the world? Nope, it's not. American Sign Language is used right here in America. It's not used all over the world because it's not a universal language. Think of it this way. If you went to visit another country, do you think everyone there would speak English? No. They would speak the language that's used in their culture or in their country. It's the same concept with American Sign Language. So if I traveled to, let's say, France or Germany, and I met someone there who was deaf, could we communicate using ASL? Probably not, because I know American Sign Language, and that person probably uses German or French Sign Language. Honestly, there's over 300 types of sign language used all over the world. I know, that's a lot. But ASL is its own language with its own grammar structure. It's completely separate from any other spoken language. So yeah, it's pretty unique. So it's important that you understand that ASL is not universal. Got it? Perfect. Man, I taught you guys a lot in the last few minutes. Hold on. Whew, let me catch my breath. Whew, I don't know about you guys, but I had to find me somewhere to sit down. All that teaching made me tired. Let's review real quick before we move on. First things first, we learned that ASL stands for what? American Sign Language. That's right. And we also learned that ASL is used by what group of people? Exactly. People who can't hear use ASL. And what is the correct term that we use for people who can't hear? Deaf. D-E-A-F. You guys are absolutely right. And what type of language is ASL? It's a visual language. Exactly. Because deaf people use their eyes in the same way that hearing people like myself use our ears. They use their eyes to take in information and to understand and to learn the same way that we use our ears to learn and hear information. You guys are so smart. And my last question for you guys, is ASL universal? Nope. ASL is not universal, and we know that that means that it is not used all over the world, but here in the United States. You guys are brilliant. I think it's time for us to talk about something else. Now, there's two very important things that you have to learn before you start signing. First thing is you have to remember to use your dominant hand as your lead hand. Your dominant hand is going to be the hand that you write with. For me, I use my right hand because that's the hand that I write with. So your dominant hand is going to be the hand that you write with. If you're left-handed, meaning that you write with your left hand, then your left hand is going to be your dominant hand when you sign. And if you're one of those special people who can use both hands equally, well, just pick one, show off. So now that you understand what your dominant hand is, you need to understand that the opposite hand is your non-dominant. So my dominant hand was my right hand. So my non-dominant hand is going to be my left hand. Now, why is this important? Well, that's because a lot of times when you're signing, you may only need to use your dominant hand. For example, when you're signing the alphabet, you only need one hand. When you're signing the colors, such as blue or yellow, you're only going to use one hand. And that hand is always going to be your dominant hand. But if you're signing, let's say, a two-handed sign, like the sign for maybe, then you're going to use both your dominant and your non-dominant hand. Got it? Perfect. Now, the last thing we have to talk about are the 5 parameters. The 5 parameters of ASL are really important in helping you sign correctly. I think of it in the same way as when you guys were younger and you were learning to read or how to say a word for the first time. No one told you to just say the word cat. They taught you the letters, then they taught you the sounds that each letter made, and then they taught you how to put it together to say the word cat. The 5 parameters use the same concept. For you to sign in ASL the right way, you need to understand that each sign has a specific hand shape, movement, location, palm orientation, and non-manual markers that each sign uses. If any of these are done incorrectly, it could change the meaning of the sign that you're trying to express. I'll give you a funny story about one of my students, but I can't tell you who. One day, a student raised their hand in my class, and I encouraged them to keep their lips closed when they're signing in class. And they said, and I looked at them and I said, "You really need to go to the Tuesday?" And everyone started laughing, including that student, because they realized they had signed Tuesday instead of signing bathroom. You see, the sign for Tuesday uses what we call the T hand, which is your thumb right in between your index and your middle finger. And that sign for Tuesday is circled. But the sign for bathroom is also a T, but it's signed this way. So just thinking about what we talked about already, what's the biggest difference between those two signs? I'm going to sign it again for you. Tuesday and bathroom. Which parameter was signed incorrect? Or what's the difference between the two? If you said movement, you are absolutely correct. The movement is definitely different. Tuesday uses a circle, and bathroom you shake. So now you understand why it's so important to understand the 5 parameters. So hand shape again refers to the hand shape. Movement refers to the way it moves. Some signs are circled, where some are shaken, and some are moved up and down. Location refers to where the sign is located while being expressed. Some signs are on your face, like the sign for mom. Some signs are on your chest, like the sign for please. And then some signs are done in open space, in your signing space, like the sign for blue, the color blue. Palm orientation is also a very important aspect. With palm orientation, it matters if your palms are facing up, like the sign for maybe, or if your palms are down, like the sign for balance. And then the last parameter is your non-manual markers. That's just a fancy way of saying facial expressions and body language. Think about it. We all do this already. We have things that we express without saying a word. So think about the sign for bathroom. If I put up my hand and I did that sign and my face looked like this and I shook it real fast, what am I saying? What am I communicating to you without actually saying the word? If you said, I'm showing that I really need to use the restroom, you're absolutely right. My eyes are big, my body is kind of tight, and my hand is moving really fast. That's me expressing without saying, I really need the bathroom, but I'm showing you that I really need the bathroom. But I don't have to say it. I can just show it through my non-manual markers. So take a moment. Think about hand shape, movement, location, palm orientation, and that fancy word for body language and facial expressions. I'm going to give you guys another example, and you tell me what's the difference. This is the sign for mom, and this is the sign for dad. What do you notice that's different between those two signs? That's right. If you said location, you are absolutely right. Perfect. Location, because mom is located on my chin and dad is signed on my head. What about another one? What about this sign? This is the sign for have, and this is the sign for tired. What's different between those two signs? What's the obvious difference? That's right, movement. Have does not move, but tired drops. Absolutely correct. You guys are brilliant. So I think we have a pretty good understanding of those 5 parameters, don't you? All right. I think it's time for us to sign. All right, guys. Now it's finally time for me to teach you guys some signs. But before we get those hands up, we need to get loosened out, okay? So I brought my son, Jordan. Jordan, say hi. All right, Jordan's gonna help us get loosened up. So first things first, I need everybody to, what sign is that, Jordan? Stand up. I need everybody to stand up. So everybody up off the couch, off the floor, out the bed, stand on your feet. Stand up straight, Jordan. All right. Now, what's the first thing you want us to do, Jordan? Stretch our hands in the sky. Show us. Oh, yeah, that's a good stretch. All right. And then what's next? Next, we're going to put our hands like this and go. Put our hands like this and go this way. All right. And then the other way. Oh, yeah, good stretch. And what about our hands? Wiggle our hands. Wiggle our hands. All right. Thank you, Jordan. I think everybody's pretty loosened up now. What do you think? One more thing. Hey, dude, this is your show. It's mine. Get out of here. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely all loosened up. Hold on. I need a sip of water. You guys grab a sip too. Do you guys like my water bottle? It's my favorite. Do you know why? It's my favorite color, yellow. And it's also my favorite because a group of my students bought this for me for my birthday. They love me, and I love them too. All right, now we're ready to sign. So today I'm going to teach you guys two groups of signs. The first group is going to be related to essential workers. Essential workers. I'm sure that's a term you've probably heard a lot in the past few weeks. And if you don't know what it means, don't worry, because I'm going to explain it to you. The other group of signs is going to be related to family. Family. And I'm going to explain all of the signs you need to know for family members, and then we're going to discuss a few essential workers. Now, the reason I decided to teach this lesson today is because with everything happening in our world, sometimes we get so busy or focused on different things that we forget to tell people how much we appreciate them. Regardless if that's someone in your home or someone that you know in your neighborhood. Maybe it's someone who has helped you or helps take care of you or prepares your food for you. Or maybe it's someone who just calls and checks on you and makes sure you're okay. Whoever that person is, it's nice to tell people that they're appreciated because people appreciate when they're appreciated. Get it? Awesome. So let me show you the sign for appreciate. You're going to take both hands, your dominant as well as your non-dominant. And remember, if you're right-handed, meaning you write with your right hand, that's your dominant. And if you're left-handed, meaning you write with your left hand, that's your dominant. So put up both your dominant and non-dominant hands. You're going to take them and place them on your chest. And you're going to move them in a slow circle motion. Appreciate. That's also a sign we use for enjoy. Because the sign for appreciate basically means that you appreciate, you're thankful for something or someone. Or you enjoy something, or you enjoy something that someone has done for you. So that's the sign for appreciate. I know that's a big word. Hold on. Let me write that down. Appreciate. Got it? Perfect. So, again, place your hands on your body and just move them in small circles. Appreciate. Now we're going to start with the signs for family. Regardless of what your family makeup is, I'm going to show you the signs you need to know. So we're going to start with the signs for mom and dad. Mom. M-O-M. Mom. That sign uses your 5-hand shape. You place it on your chin and it doesn't move. Mom. Got it? So again, your hand shape is in the number 5, an open 5, and then you place your thumb on your chin, and that's the sign for mom. The next sign is dad. D-A-D. You're going to use that same open 5 hand, but this time you're going to place it on your forehead. Dad. Dad. Mom and dad. So 2 things I want to mention here. In sign language, American Sign Language, typically all signs made from the nose up are going to be related to male family members. And all signs made from the nose down are going to refer to female family members. So mom is made on your chin and dad is made on your forehead. Doesn't that remind you of how important location is? Remember when we talked about the 5 parameters? Exactly. Our next 2 signs are going to be the sign for grandma and grandfather. Grandmother and grandfather. So the first one is going to be grandma. The sign for grandma uses the same open 5 hand that we use for mom, and it starts in the same location. But this sign moves 2 times a little jump. 1, 2. Grandma. 1, 2. Perfect. Now the sign for granddad is going to use the same sign again, that open 5, but where do you think I'm going to put that hand? That's right, the location is on my forehead. And I'm going to move forward again 2 times. 1, 2. And that's the sign for grandfather. Now, regardless if you call your grandmother Mima or Nana or Granny, that would still be the sign for that person in your family. And the sign on your forehead, whether you call your grandfather, grandfather, or grandpa, or granddad, or pop, it's still going to start right here on the forehead. Granddad. Got it. Woo, we covered a lot already. Our next 2 signs are going to be the signs for our brothers and sisters. Now, regardless of what your household looks like, maybe you are the oldest child in your home, or maybe you're the youngest, you're the baby. Or maybe you're the middle child like me. Or maybe you're the only child. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you the signs. So the sign for brother is going to use both your L hands on your dominant as well as your non-dominant hand. You're going to place your dominant hand in front of you. And you're going to place that L at the top of your forehead, because brother, that's a male family member. And that L is going to start here. And then you're going to bring it down right on top of that hand. And you have the sign for brother. So again, non-dominant hand, dominant hand on your forehead, and bring it at an angle. And now you have the sign for brother. Brother. And then our next sign is going to be sister. Sister. That sign is going to use the exact same hand shape as brother. That hand is going to come in the front, and this hand, you guessed it, it's going to come on your chin and then come down at the same angle, and now you've made the sign for sister. So again, your non-dominant hand in front of you, dominant hand on your chin, come down, you have the sign for sister. Now, maybe you have a baby sister or an older sister. The sign you can use for that is going to be oldest, and that's an O hand that just comes down and then thumbs up. Oldest or older. And then you can do baby for baby sister or younger sister. So baby literally just takes your hands in the shape as if you're holding a baby. My baby sister, because that's what my son says. He says he has a baby sister. And then she says, I'm not a baby, I'm a big girl. But he still calls her his baby sister. Or if you are the only child, you can hold one finger and just twirl it in a circle right here. And that means only child. Only child. Got it? Something else I want to show you while we're here is the sign for step. Because all of our households are made up different. Some of us live with our grandparents. Some of us live with our moms and our dads. Some of us live with just our moms or just our dads. Some of us live with step parents. So let me show you the sign for step. So the sign for step uses that same L hand that we use for brother and sister, but it's only on your dominant hand. You place that in front of your chest and then you tilt it forward. So now that your palm is up. So again, your palm is facing your body. You're in an L shape, and then you're going to tilt it out so that your palm is now up. That's the sign for step. Step. So step mom, or step dad, or step sister, or step brother. Perfect. Some households also maybe have adopted siblings. So you take your hands in an open 5 hand like this with your palms facing the ground. Remember those 5 parameters, that's important. And then you pull up into an S hand. So 5 hand open with your palms towards the ground. and then you pull them up, and now it's in an S hand shape. And an S hand shape literally just puts your fingers down with your thumb wrapped around the other fingers. So, adopt. So maybe you have an adopted brother or sister, so you can sign that, adopted. Or maybe you're adopted. Every household is different. That's what makes discussing family so unique, because your family is going to be different from mine, and my family is going to be different from yours. And that's okay. That's what makes up your family. So I want to make sure we cover all the signs. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the sign for aunt and uncle. So we're going to start with aunt or aunt. That uses an A hand right on the side of your cheek because that's a female family member. And you're going to do a small circle for aunt or aunt. Got it? And then next we are going to use the sign for uncle, which uses your U hand circled right here by your temple. Got it? All right. Well, those are our family signs. Do you guys want to run through them one more time? I think we went through them kind of fast. You guys are so smart. All right. Let's start over. Let's start back with mom and dad. Mom, right here. Oh, my sign is kind of crooked. I think my kids were playing with these. Mom, mom, dad, dad, grandfather or grandpa, 2 times, 1, 2. Grandmom or grandmother, 1, 2. Perfect. Sister, sister, L hands, sister, sister. Brother, 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 brother. Aunt, A hand, aunt. And uncle, uncle. And then we have the sign for step, if you have a step family member. And adopt or adopted. We learned the sign for baby. We learned the sign for older or oldest. Older, remember it's an O hand. It's almost like you're pulling a beard. Older or oldest. And then younger, which uses a closed 5 bent right there on your arm, on your chest, I guess. And you just go up a couple times for younger. And then the sign for only child, because maybe you are the only child. All right. Now, the last sign I'm going to show you is because we have a lot of friends who become family. I'm going to say that again. We have a lot of friends that we consider family, really. So I'm going to show you the sign for friend. Friend. Friend takes both index fingers on your dominant and non-dominant hand. Your dominant hand is going to be open this way with the palm up, and then you're going to take your dominant hand on top like that, and then you're just going to do it in the opposite direction. So you start like this, take your dominant hand, hook, just like that. All right? Great. So we've covered all of our family signs. Now it's time for us to learn about essential workers. What does that mean? Let me explain. An essential worker is a person who's required to go to work regardless of what's happening right now. They are still going to work and doing the things that need to get done to keep the world moving smoothly, to protect us, to take care of us, and to make sure we have the necessities to continue with our everyday lives. Those people are everyone from a grocery store worker, a cashier, someone who works at a restaurant, who prepares food, People who work at the hospital, like doctors and nurses who are putting their lives on the line to make sure we are healthy and taken care of. People like police officers and firefighters who are still keeping the streets safe. Mail delivery people who are still out delivering packages in mail for us. Teachers who are still working to teach us every day, even though we can't go to school. Soldiers in the military who are still having to get up and go. All of these people are essential workers, and we truly appreciate them. So I'm going to show you the signs for a few of those people that I named. We're going to start with soldier. Soldier. I start with this sign because my husband is in the military, and he's a soldier. And he has to go to work some days while we are home. So the sign for soldier is going to use both hands. You're going to put them in a hand shape. That's an A hand shape or fist. And you're going to take your dominant hand at the top and your non-dominant hand right underneath. And that's the sign for soldier. You just move both hands up and down. 1, 2. Soldier. Perfect. The next sign I'm going to show you is the sign for police officer. Maybe you guys have family members out there who are military personnel, soldiers, or a police officer. The sign for police officer uses your C hand and you place it right on your chest, almost like a badge. Police officer. Awesome. The next sign I'm going to show you is the sign for nurse. 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 That sign uses an in hand, and you're going to hold up your non-dominant hand, and on your wrist, you're just going to tap. Nurse. Nurse. Got it? Perfect. And the next sign is going to be doctor. Doctor. You're going to take the M hand, which is 3 fingers this time, and you're going to tap right there on your wrist. Doctor. Doctor. Perfect. Next, we have firefighter. Firefighter. So this reminds you of their hats because they have that little metal right there. So take your hand in a B hand and you're just going to tap it on your forehead. Firefighter. Perfect. And last, we have teacher. Teacher. Like me. So you're going to take your hands both in flat O hand shape. So this is an O. You're going to flatten it out. Teach. Teach. And then you're going to add the person marker for person. So teacher. So it's 3 movements. 1, 2, and then 3 for person marker. All right? Teacher. So now you have the signs. So let's go through them one more time. We're going to start backwards with teacher. Teacher uses, again, that flat O hand shape. Teacher. Maybe you have a teacher who's your favorite, who you really appreciate. That would be someone that you would say, I appreciate my teacher. So you could point at yourself and say, I appreciate my teacher. So again, you point to yourself. That's the sign for you or me or I. So I appreciate my, that's a palm, my teacher. You got it? Awesome. Next, doctors. I really appreciate doctors because my daughter was really sick one time and the doctors took great care of her. So I really appreciate doctors. So I would sign, I appreciate doctors. That's that M hand for doctor. So again, I'm pointing to myself. I appreciate doctors. And nurses, because they do a lot of work. So nurse. So I appreciate doctors, or maybe it's a nurse, because nurses do a lot of work. So maybe it's a nurse that you appreciate. Or maybe it's a police officer. Or a firefighter. Or a doctor, a teacher. Any of those essential workers. But now it's time for some fun. We're going to play a game with my family. Let's see how they do, because I've taught them all of these signs, and I want to see if they've been paying attention to me. Let's go. Hello out there, and welcome back to that game show you guys love. Do you know the name of the show? Guess That Sign. Woo! Good job. If you're joining me for the first time, I'm the host. And this is my co-host. What's your name? Journey. Thank you. And joining us on today's episode of Guess That Sign, we have Mr. Stanley all the way from the kitchen where I hope he's cooking dinner tonight. And we have Jordan all the way from his bedroom that needs to be cleaned.
Why does she always say that?
Because you need to clean it. So, we are going to test their knowledge of signs that I've taught them. So let's see if they're smarter than you guys out there. Here we go. You guys know how this works. I'm going to sign a sign and you have to pick. My co-host left. You have to pick. Hey, you, stop. You have to pick which sign matches the sign. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go. So our first sign is... Is that correct, guys? Yes, that is the sign for mom. Woo! All right, guys. Our next sign is the sign. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Stanley. That's 1 point for Jordan. Let's see if you can get a point as well. Here we go. Here's the sign. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Oh, that's 2 signs for Jordan. Let's see. Is he correct, guys? He is. The sign was Dad. Good job. Okay. Our next sign is going to be a tough one. This sign is from our category related to essential workers. 4. Nothing. Because I'm not giving up any money. Sorry. Here we go. The sign is... tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Is that correct, guys? Sorry, Mr. Stanley. Womp, womp, womp.
It's this
Jordan,
one.
can you show us the correct sign?
This one.
Oh, no, sir. You're wrong as well.
It's
Womp,
this one.
womp,
It's this
womp.
one. It's this one. It's
The
that
sign is you would think you would get this right. Your wife is a teacher and your mother is a teacher. What in the world? All right, so they both got it wrong. Well, sorry guys. All right, let's try another one. This is coming from the category family. All right, here's the sign. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Sister, is that correct, guys? It sure is. Another point for Jordan. Woo! Man, Mr. Stanley. All right, Jordan, you are doing awesome. Double or nothing, Jordan. Ready? Here we go. This sign is coming from the category of essential workers.
You kidding right now?
The sign is... Oh, Daddy got one. Yay, good job. The sign was soldier. Good job. All right, here we go. I'm not going to tell you the category. Here's the sign. Oh, Daddy got it. Police officer. Is he right, guys?
How those?
He is. Woo! Good job.
You need to stop doing that, though.
All right, guys. So, I guess they both did pretty good. What do you guys think? They did okay. Let's see. Journey, what do you think? They did good? All right, baby. That's the sign for baby. Well, thank you guys for playing today. I hope you enjoyed another round of Guess That Sign. Woo! Hey guys, and welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed playing that game with us because I really enjoyed quizzing them. Don't worry, you're going to get a chance to play Guess That Sign as well. Don't get nervous. We're going to do a full review first. So we're going all the way back to the beginning. Huh? No, not to the introduction, silly. Back to ASL. We learned that ASL stands for what? American Sign Language. And we also learned that American Sign Language is considered what type of language? A visual language. And why do we say that? Because deaf people, people who can't hear, they use their eyes to take in information and learn the same way that we use our ears to hear and listen. Exactly. Well, you guys are so smart. I don't know why you were nervous. And we also learned that the term deaf, D-E-A-F, the term deaf is the correct term used to refer to people who can't hear. That's right, deaf. And we also learned that ASL is a universal language, right? No, it's not. Oh, you caught me. You're right. ASL is not universal, which we learned means that it's not used all over the world, just here within the deaf community in the United States. That's right. We also talked about the 5 parameters. Remember those? And we know how important they are in forming a sign correctly. We know that hand shape, movement, location, palm orientation, and non-manual markers all have an important role when you're expressing yourself using ASL. Remember I told you the story about one of my favorite students when they signed Tuesday instead of bathroom? Again, it's really important. You don't want to make that mistake. We also know that when you're signing, you have to show your emotion and your expression. That's what ASL is all about. So that's why non-manual markers are so important. Although we didn't cover many signs that use non-manual markers, I'll show you a couple. Like the sign for happy. If I signed happy without the non-manual marker there, this is what it would look like. Do I look very happy? No. So that's why we have to use those non-manual markers. Happy versus sad. Got it? Awesome. Now it's your time to play Guess That Sign. Okay, I always have to say it that way. I don't know why. That's just how it comes to my head. So let's take a look at our signs. We remember that we had 2 categories. The first category was family members, and the second was essential workers. Where do you guys want to start? You say family? You say essential workers? Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're going to do families first. Are you ready? Ready. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to sign the sign, and then you guys are going to tell me what family member I'm talking about. So I'm going to start. Here's a helpful hint. Remember location, location, location when it comes to family members, okay? So first things first. Number 1. If you said mom, you are absolutely correct. All right, here's another one. Number 2. Tick tock, tick tock. You're right. Good job, brother. Awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. All right. Let me see if I can make this harder. Number 3. Oh, I tried to stump you and you got it. You're right. That sign was uncle. Uncle. All right. What about this sign? Tick tock. I knew I could trick you up. You're right. It's ant. Oh, you were playing with me. You were pretending like you didn't know. You're right. That's the sign for ant. What about this sign? Number 4. Sister. I know. That one was pretty easy because you guys got brother with no problem. So you knew with the location change, the sign was sister. What about this sign? Number 5. Grandfather. Good job. That is the sign for grandfather. Remember, grandparents, the sign just bounce. 1, 2, or grandmother, 1, 2. All right. How about this sign? And I don't think it's on our board. Hold on. I think my daughter ripped friend off our card. Well, friend, let's take our fingers just like this and show me the sign for friend. Exactly. That's the sign for friend. Because we all have some friends who are really close to us, almost like family. So, friend. I don't know what she did with my sign. It seems like she's always taking my signs. All right. So let's move on to essential workers. Now we have 6 up here. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you the sign for 3 of them. And you're going to tell me the essential worker that I'm talking about. And then I'm going to say the name for the other 3. And you're going to show me the sign. Got it? I'll go first. Number 1 for essential workers. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Yes, teacher. I'm so glad you guys got that right because my husband and my son got that sign wrong. Teacher. Teacher. You're absolutely right. And next, I'm going to show you this sign. Not doctor. Nurse. Remember, 2 fingers is an N. Nurse. And 3 fingers is doctor. Exactly. So we have teacher, doctor with 3 fingers on your wrist, and nurse with 2 fingers on your wrist. And if you've ever been to the doctor, the first thing they do after they take your blood pressure and your temperature, if you're not feeling well, is they always check your pulse. Yeah. Nowadays, they have the little cuff that I think that they put on your finger, but this was the old school way of doing things, so that's why that's the sign. So doctor, nurse. Now it's your turn. I'm going to say the word, and I want you to sign it. So let's see. Let's start over here with police officer. Police officer. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That's right. Police officer is signed with a C hand right here on your chest as if you're showing your badge. Police officer. That's right. What about the sign for soldier? Tick tock, tick tock. Oh, you guys got that one fast. Yes, soldier. Soldier uses your A hands right here on your chest with your dominant hand above your non-dominant hand. And then you just lift them both twice. Soldier. And the last one. What's the sign for firefighter? Tick tock, 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 tick tock. You're right. That's the sign for firefighter. Just like their helmet had that little metal in the front, that little emblem. There you go, firefighter. Awesome. I am so proud of you guys. Okay, guys, it's time for us to wrap it up. But I hope you all enjoyed learning as much as I enjoyed teaching you all. I really appreciated you tuning in today and taking time out of your busy schedule to allow me to teach you one of my favorite subjects, American Sign Language. I hope you understand the importance of taking a break and letting those people around you know that you appreciate them. And remember, this is your sign for appreciate. So now, regardless if it's a family member or maybe a friend, or someone in your neighborhood that's an essential worker. Or maybe you live with someone who's an essential worker. Now you can tell that person, thank you, and show them how much you appreciate them. So let me be the first to say that I appreciate all of the essential workers out there. And I appreciate all of you students out there who are still working very hard despite having to work from home. You guys take care, be safe, stay healthy, and always remember to keep signing. You guys take care. Have a good one.